It is September 2nd. Real quick video, 5-minute update on BTC and what I think's about to take place. If you look at the lower time frame, go to your 2 hour. We have a 2 hour order block right above us. See this between $21,159 and $22,000. This consolidation that led to this dump that we're having right now is more likely not going to get retested. So if we close today's daily candle still within this particular range, assume that by Sunday we're gonna go take out these lows. So we're gonna do something like this and then head back up. This little range has ugly lows that needs to get taken out before we attempt to go to the top side if we do happen to close the daily candle today under this range, or whatever, in this range. If we don't break out by the daily candle within this range, we're going to the bottom. Okay, keep that in mind. If you go to the 4 hour and you look at the order block indicator, as you can tell, we have 1 and 2 attempts in this current order block. The order block indicates that there is demand there. Unfortunately, it's not going to hold for a third time, which more likely than not, if we do happen to break down, it's going to come to the green order block, which has not been tapped yet. The green order block is freshly untapped, and it actually works with what I wanted to do by sweeping that low. So if you take into consideration where we are, and you do something like this, more likely than not, if we do happen to break down, see, this is one consolidation, I'll led to another consolidation. And if we do happen to not break out, or if we do happen to do something like this, it's going to come down to tap the order block and take out this low. And then we can carry on to that 22.5 point range. If you zoom out a little bit more and go to the 3-day, open up your FEG indicator, you could tell that there is a beautiful, take off the gap zone. Oh, make it black. Right? So there's a beautiful area over here that will act like a magnet. This middle, the EQ of the FEG and the high time frame always acts like a magnet. 22.8, 22.9, around there. When price does happen to go back to the top side, it's going to act like resistance and it's probably going to be reactive to the downside. I'm pretty confident that we will come all the way back down here, no matter what happens. Get rid of the FEG, right? This is the level of interest that we're looking at right now. What is this? Right? So I'm waiting patiently to see what happens between mid 18,000, 18,500, 18,400, 18,600. This will act at least a little bit more of support and to be able to take this wick out at 18.5. It just doesn't make sense for this to stay intact after we've done what we've done. Look at the 2-day, beautiful reaction of, I think it was a 2-day TMA. There we go. 2-day TMA knocked us hard. The 2-day TMA knocked us hard. Every single time we get above the 2-day TMA band, more often than not, and you retest it and you don't break under it, you go for a rally. When you broke above it and you went and you retested it, you got rejected. And what did it do? It killed us. So the next time we get above the 2-day TMA band, which I have on my chart, it's going to be a significant move back up to the zone, which is going to be roughly about $28,000 to $34,000. Just keep in mind, all you have to do for the TMA is do what I do. Just put it 2 days, indicate a time frame 2-day, turn everything off because it's really not needed unless you're scalping, and make this into a line. And then just have it every single time frame you go to, you're going to be able to see where the 2-day TMA is. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. It gives you an insight as to where we could potentially get slapped, right? Any time frame you go to, you'll tell that was the big slap that we had last month. All right. Now, zoom out, go to your 2-day, get rid of this, not needed. Go to the left side, which is very important, guys. And I want you to highlight the little consolidation block that led to all-time highs, right? This little block over here. And there's obviously thin air here, nothing here to be said, right? So this is the current range that we're in right now. We're just consolidating here, but don't forget, we're consolidating here for one reason. Are we going to continue to the downside and have another pivotal move? Whatever move we get, it's going to be an expansion, right? So are we going to have a pivotal move to the downside, or are we going to break to the top side, fake out, and then come down, which is more likely to happen? Because if we break down from here, we're going to break down hard. We've been consolidating for over, what, 3 months now? Grab it from the first candle, go over. Yeah, almost 3 months, guys. 2.5 months, whatever the case is. Almost 3 months. This isn't going to be a light move. This is going to be a pretty pivotal move. So keep in mind that when you don't have price action to the left side, it's just thin air. And then right now you're on the right side and you're actually chopping around, consolidating. You're doing one or two things. You're either accumulating or redistributing. right? Because you shouldn't be spending so much time here after you've spent no time here in the past. I personally think that we are going to fake dump into a pump and head up to high 20s, low 30s, which is going to be Q4. Q4 to me is going to be extremely bullish, and I'm trying to position myself in longs for Q4. I'll explain my theory after. Remember, don't forget, guys, I'll say this one more time. I said this 3 times already. September 5th is Labor Day. Labor Day, September 5th. Every single time Labor Day happens, we do have a pivotal event, a pivotal move. Whether it's going to be a pivotal move to the top side or whether it's going to be a pivotal move to the downside. Whatever it does, it's pivotal. I personally think that we're going to fake dump into a pump into high 20s, low 30s. That's what I think is going to take place for Labor Day. If the reverse happens and we fake pump into the quarterly around like $28,000, then we have to short. And we have to short and we have to target the new Q4 quarterly, which should be roughly about $19,000, $20,000 at the time when it actually gets populated on the chart. So what else did I want to tell you guys? Yeah, okay. We spoke about the range. Now delete all this, and I want you to draw a separate range. Now, what happens when, because it's not going to be a nip, it's going to be a 1. We close a 2-day candle under this black line, under 19.5, because 19.5 has been holding us up this whole time. If people are not zooming out, they're not going to be able to see that. 19.5 has been very pivotal for us. What happens when we close under it? We're going to go straight down here to that $16,000 mark. I don't even want to hear it. It's going to happen. Only problem with that is there really isn't any support on the higher time frame at 16K. So you have 2 options. Are we either going to deviate? Where's this deviation? Are we either going to deviate these lows, which is unlikely to take place? I think we're just going to crash. And then we're going to stop and we're going to create a bull div down here and do something along the lines of this. Right? Which is likely to be painted by every single charter out there, or which is going to completely collapse and do something along the lines of this. And then go down to 13,000. But either way, if you look at the higher time frame and you want to zoom out and you actually understand how supports work, we have really no support until over here. We're in thin air, guys. We're literally in thin air. So keep in mind, on the higher time frame, this is your range. So whether we do this or whether we do this, unfortunately, it's going to come. Just got to hope that this low does not get breached at all. All right, keep that in mind. Low time frame. Go to your 5-hour, go to your levels, open up your previous monthly. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Did it open? Monthly range. Black. Why are these small, man? Jesus Christ, dude. Lord. I need to show prices, man. Show prices. Beautiful. Okay, so I want to be here. So July's, we're talking about July's. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. See how beautiful this is, guys? So July's monthly low. July's low was 18,700, which I still think needs to get taken. And I'm pretty confident we're going to get this thing taken sooner than later. July's high already got taken, right? Yeah, July's high. Now let's, wait, where are we right now? Time out. Did I do this wrong? Oh, no, I did it right? Yeah, beautiful. July's high got taken already. July's low did not get taken. I need to get the labels on this to indicate which month it is, because this is a little confusing because we're 2 months back. So again, July's low has yet to get taken. July's high got taken. So more likely than not, whatever pump we get, we'll get drifted right back down to the lows. If you take this off, where's the little button? Take this off right now. Take this off. Wolf. Go back. Check a populated new one. Monthly. All I want is a previous. And then all I want is the quarterly open. Quarterly. Make this blue. Okay. There we go. This is a lot cleaner. So the previous monthly low, which is August, which was 2 days ago, is 19.52. So if we do happen to sweep these lows, which is August low, you know that we're going to go straight for that. August mid, which is going to be 22.3. Keep that in mind, right? Quarterly mid is still sitting at 21.9, which is going to offer some kind of reaction. And then most importantly, guys, the highs are still intact. So this should be your range to work with for the next maybe 15 days or whatnot. The rest of the ranges are all bullshit. Just work with your quarterly and your previous monthly range until the current September range formats itself. Other than that, guys, trade safe. Cheers. A lot of altcoins are still looking pretty good to me. I'm not assuming that we're gonna die yet. In the event that we have the macro dump that we're expecting, that we're all expecting, buying SOL in the teens is gonna be a generational low. And personally speaking, I'm probably gonna unload a significant amount of cash flow into SOL if we get down to low teens, anywhere between $10 and like $15. No brainer move over there. So these lows, once these lows get taken, guys, it's going to be game on for SOL. I think about what the upside if these lows get taken. This is not financial advice, by the way. From the main low at 19,000 back up to like a proper, like maybe retest lower high, it's a 10x, man. It's a 10x. Even if you drop $10,000 or if you drop $50,000, you're literally going to make more you're gonna make more throughout this one move than what the average American made throughout the whole year with their 50, 60K salary, guy. This is not financial advice, but just letting you know what I'm planning on doing with SOL. And the reason why I'm picking SOL is because I like to target specific altcoins, study their patterns. And if you look at the oscillators too, they're pending that move. They're pending that retest. They're pending that move. And once you get that retest, it's game on. Like the 5 days about to kiss down here. See these two little guys over here? This is gonna be, once this kisses and this comes down, oh, it's gonna be so game on, right? If you go to CRV too, CRV is another shitcoin that I've been following very closely. Right? So imagine what happens when this low gets breached. Now, is that 50-cent low going to get breached into roughly about mid to low 40s? I don't know. But if it does, it's going to give me an opportunity to purchase. I don't know if it is, but I'm hawking it. I have alerts on my profile for it. And this is pretty much what I'm waiting for. If this happens to really come down, you have two options. Stop here, make a lower high, and come all the way down here. Or get above this, go over here, come retest this, and then go for roughly about $4. So this is pretty obvious how things work out. High, low, lower high, dump, or high, low, sorry, do it over here. High, low, lower high, break above, creating a higher high. Come back down to retest the previous highs, long into a higher high. That's how the uptrend starts. But you have to be patient because this takes a while to format. Think about it. You have to do something like this, right? So this takes a while. This takes like months on the higher time frame. This isn't a 4-hour time frame. So keep that in mind. That's why people are impatient. People are trying to long this, shadow long this, shadow long this. Just wait for a breach and then a retest. Guys, cheers. Hope everything works out for all of us and we make a lot of money. Play safe. Don't forget, guys, on the higher time frame, open up your order block indicator. It's very important for you to have this, identify this. We're on a weekly order block, right? Ideally, what you want to see. You have 2 weekly order blocks right now, 22.8, 25.1, and then the main one that I want us to tap, which is probably going to come very soon. This is going to come Q4. I'll bet my life on it that Q4, we're going to hit this order block in Q4. Position myself pretty properly. So this way I don't mess around. 2 weeks. Wow, 2 weeks looks freaking just no support, man. There's literally no fucking support, guys. It's crazy. Nuts. We're just in thin air. It's OD on the higher time frame. It's crazy to even think about this. Like you wouldn't buy this asset on a 5-minute time frame if you saw this. If this was a 5-minute chart, you're gonna tell me, I'm gonna tell you guys, we're gonna fill this. you know it and I know it. Any smart technical analyst will say that. This is all air. But because we're so greedy and we wanna always, catch a freaking move, we wanna make sure that we don't miss it. Even for me too, it's like I wanna enter, but I've been holding back a lot. So I've just been DCAing in SOL. I don't even care. I hold it for a year or two. It doesn't matter to me. How does this look? 4-day, 3-day, 2-day. Where's the FEGs? 3-day FEG. We spoke about this. You see the weekly FEG. Yeah, the weekly and after down. 2-week. No, it froze on me again. No, there you go. Oh, it froze on me because we're pumping dirt. 2-week destroyed us. Don't forget, guys, keep this on. Keep your 2-day TMA on. Because when we get above this, that's what, by the way, guys. When we get above this 2-day TMA, I'm telling you, we're going to freaking have a nice little pivotal move. Just keep that on your charts. Just watch it. It respects it very well. So what I've done in the past is I took 2 TMA bands, the daily and the 2-day. So I told y'all to do this for me for my sake of easiness, because I don't really use the full TMA bands as a whole, top and bottom. I don't scalp anymore. When I used to scalp, I would use the whole thing, right? Because it would make a lot more sense. If you go to the top, let's reset this whole thing. Daily, right? So for example, the daily, if you're scalping, I assume this is like your 4-hour or whatnot. You get above the daily, you got to be careful once you get to the red, right? You get above, we haven't even gotten to the red yet. So when we do happen to get to the red, we know that it's going to be a massive rejection or reaction and whatnot. So keep that in mind next time you are looking at the higher time frame. The zones, the red and the green, they really act like support and resistance, right? We haven't even been able to get above the green and the weekly yet, which goes to show you that we're still downtrending. This is currently your weekly right now at 27.2. But mind you, we're not even near the weekly mid. So we're still working on the 2-day right now. Any move down to the green zone of the 2-day is going to offer support. Any move up to the red zone of the 2-day will offer resistance. So keep that in mind. Well, it was something I wanted to tell you guys on the hard time frame. I don't know. If it comes to me, I'll let you guys know. But there you go. This is like pretty much all you got to see. And then if you zoom out a little bit more and go to the actual bottom, the main bottom, I think it was the weekly that had it. I don't know who had it, or the 2-week that had it. Hold on a second. There was this. I don't know if it was log or not. I turned log off. Yeah, it was log on. Regardless of the move out, if we do happen to get some kind of fake overthrow and come all the way down here, we're gonna get destroyed, right? Everyone's assuming that we're gonna come down to like $6,000 to $8,000 within the next like year or two, right? Something like this. I can't see that happening unless we have like a government interference, right? Take log off now. Let's see what happens when log's off. Yeah. You can't even grab it, can you? There you can. There. Take log off. Try to find the pivotal area like this, body to body, and then you still come down to roughly about, say, $13,000, which actually meets my monthly fear of us coming down to this trend line to do something like this. Right? So anyway, this is all just projections that mean really nothing to all of us, because at the end of the day, we're playing level to level on the daily and whatnot. Just trade safe, guys. Keep in mind that BTC is in a holiday weekend right now. See what happens on Monday. And then we revert back to this come Tuesday, Wednesday. Cheers.